Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is officially 2021, baby. It is so weird to say that we're in 2021, but 2020 is officially over. All of that negative stuff that you dealt with in 2020, leave that there, okay? It's a new year, it's new opportunities. We're bringing in positive vibes, success, abundance, all into the air into this new year, okay? So think positively. And I know that some people think, oh, it's literally just like another day, which yeah, in fact that it kind of is, but how refreshing is it to feel as if you have a clean slate, a fresh start, and 365 days, 12 chapters of opportunities and just, you know, different things happening, popping. I don't know. But anywho, 2020 was definitely a different year that, you know, all of us went through together. And I have definitely learned a lot. I feel like I did have a lot of personal growth throughout the year. And I just want to share some things that I learned just from experience and just from reflecting and realization. And yeah, let's get started. So first lesson is people make time for the things that they want or the things that they prioritize. And this can be taken in a lot of different ways, but still have the same meaning. So basically, we're all given the same amount of time. We're all given the same amount of equal time, 24 hours, 7 days a week, okay? And so if you look at it from the love and relationship talking aspect, I get that we're all grown, right? We all have responsibilities, we all have jobs, we all have bills to pay, but no one is too busy to not send a simple text or send a simple call or to make just a little bit of time to talk or see you throughout their day, period. Period. And if they wanted to, they would. That also goes in the aspect of prioritizing health and fitness. A lot of people, you know, will make up excuses, but in reality, it all goes down into time management and how badly you want those certain things. And yeah, so just keep that in mind. Number 2, no matter what you think is best, people will do what they want. You cannot force people to think like you. So basically, this meaning can go into, let's say, your homeboy or homegirl is in something toxic, okay? And you're giving advice and you repeatedly give them advice because you obviously can see what is going on or that they're in a like toxic cycle. But it only takes that person to actually realize it on their own and follow through with that advice. You could give them as much as advice as you want, but it takes that person to actually go and do it and realize it on their own. And also, this kind of goes in the aspect of having a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And, you know, you can try to, how do I say this? You can try your best to encourage those around you and try to talk to them and encourage them to do, you know, certain things. But if they don't want to grow, they don't want to grow. Like, you can only do your part and your best to try to, you know, encourage people. But at the end of the day, it's their decisions and we are all grown, like I said, and we're all accountable. So you can't force anyone to do anything. You cannot force anyone to change. You cannot force anyone to think a certain way. You can't do any of that. So stop trying to. You can help people, but don't be so hard on yourself. And also just, you know, let people do them. It's their life. Number 3. Find joy in the simple things. Laughter with close friends, connecting with family near and far, finding the beauty in nature. Definitely, you know, with the whole pandemic, going on and the fact that we were stuck at home, you definitely had to, you know, realize some things. I was more, I can't even talk. So I definitely spent a lot more time outside. I went more on runs with my dog. I went rollerblading. I sometimes just went out and sat on the grass and just watched the sunset. And it's just, you know, that I feel like is also a positive side from the pandemic. The fact that, you know, we were all kind of forced to take a break from our normal life and to just find beauty in the simple things and, you know, spend more time with your loved ones. And it's kind of funny because last year my friend was telling me that she saw a shooting star.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I can really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
It's just like, no way, like, you know, they're so rare. And she was like, no, they're not. You just have to look up. You never look up. And then, low-key, that was kind of like deep to me because how often do we really look up, you know? I was just like, damn, I could have went my whole life without, you know, not looking up. I mean, I look up like at the sunset and stuff, but when it comes to like things like that, I didn't know shooting stars were common. I don't know if you guys know, but I didn't know. And she was like, yeah. So it was like her and my other best friend, and we it was so funny because it was like so like spontaneous that night, but we went on my friend's car, laid a blanket on top of the car, and just laid on top of the car looking up. Obviously you have to go in an area that's like not really like lit, so we went to her neighborhood and it had some lights, but it wasn't too bright where we could still see the stars. And that was probably one of my favorite nights from 2020, just looking up at shooting stars. I was so mesmerized, and I really thought to myself, wow, you know, I feel like if she didn't say this, I probably could have gone my whole life without not looking up or not even seeing a shooting star. I mean, who knows, maybe I would have seen it later on in the future, but it's small things like that, like I feel like that we take for granted. And yeah, so that's one thing. And I feel like I also just definitely had a lot more time during the pandemic to reflect, and I meditated more, I stretched more, I was forced to be creative with my workouts. And yeah, so definitely find joy in the simple things because they are there, and not everything has to be so grand, if that makes sense. But yeah, there's definitely beauty in every single day. You just have to look for it. Number 4, be present. Listen with an open heart and mind. Definitely the pandemic was kind of, I guess, like a wake-up call, you could say, or just, you know, a way to actually slow down our daily busy life and to actually just, you know, really be there and be present. And by that, I just mean, I feel like sometimes we're just so on the go. Everything's like rushed, you know? And I feel like this past year, I definitely learned how to just really listen to people and, you know, hear them out, hear what they're saying. I also used to be a daydreamer, like I'm a Pisces. So sometimes when people talk, I just be like daydreaming. But I definitely worked more on that this year. I worked more on my listening skills. And yeah, just definitely be present. Just notice the small things. Yeah. Okay. Also, something that I want to add to the being present lesson is that definitely, you know, I feel like a lot of people in the time of like uncertainty, we went through a lot of anxiety, and you know, especially in the beginning of the pandemic, I remember like me and my friends talking, and we were just like, man, like I remember when it was like the beginning of it, so it was like the first like week or two, and we were like, man, like the gyms are closed, like everything is closed, and we were just overthinking, like, you know, this is only gonna spread, and like what's gonna happen, like how long do you think this is gonna last? And we're like, oh, it's, you know, maybe a month, maybe two. Little did we know. But definitely we do tend to worry about the future, you know, and that gives us anxiety about, you know, worrying about what's to come. Or sometimes we hold things onto the past, but we don't really tend to just enjoy the present, enjoy the now. And yeah, that's just something I thought was important to share. Number 5, I believe, being grateful for what you have, knowing that it is and always was enough. And pretty much, you know, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much kind of clear, but definitely the pandemic, like I said before, I guess was a wake-up call to everyone. You know, there was so much to be grateful for and thankful for, and I really am truly blessed that me and, you know, my loved ones, my family, and my like close friends and stuff, they didn't catch COVID. But throughout the whole entire year, and you know, I really am truly blessed to have good health. That is something that I feel like a lot of us, you know, tend to overlook, especially because since we all, like I said before, tend to get so busy in our lives that sometimes we don't take care of ourselves, or we don't realize like how good we really have things. And I'm just so grateful that, you know, me and my family were protected and covered. And even then some, I was lucky to, you know, my mom still kept her job. My brother kept his job. You know, we were able to keep our house, to keep food on the table, the clothes on our back. Like, it's small things like that, you know, running water, freaking waking up in the morning, being able to breathe, being able to see, being able to hear. I feel like it's just things like that we don't realize how good we truly have it. And yeah, it's just, it really is such a blessing. And I'm grateful every single day. And I'm grateful, you know, to have friends that love me and that, you know, that are there for me. And yeah, there's so many things to be grateful for, guys. Like, you don't understand how good you have it until, you know, you see how some people really are struggling out there. And it's crazy. So I thank God every single day. So just be grateful for what you have, because sometimes what you have is what someone else is praying for. So yeah, keep that in mind. Number 6, have an emergency savings fund and create a side hustle for yourself. Whew. So definitely this was probably a tough year on a lot of people, financial wise too. You definitely always want to have a savings, because, you know, obviously 2020 was crazy and you just never know what could happen in life. So you always want to be prepared. And yeah, I feel like it is so important to also have a side hustle. I know a lot of people aren't really in the business minded, but you can't always depend on, you know, having a job, if that makes sense. Sometimes, you know, like the past year, a lot of people lost their jobs, and then they obviously like didn't know what to do. And yeah, you can apply for unemployment, but waiting for the government to save you is definitely not something that you want to depend on. Some people got lucky and they made a good amount of money from the government from unemployment weekly. And you know, me, I only got like 2 checks even though I kept applying. And it's stuff like that, or some people didn't even get anything, or it just took like much longer. But you don't want to depend on that, because guess what? Those bills, your rent is not gonna stop. But you just have to find out a way to save yourself when it comes to things like that. So definitely financial tip, keep that in mind, guys. Super, super important. Number 7, check in with yourself and sit with your feelings. So definitely 2020 was a roller coaster of emotions for everyone, and for me, you know, a lot of things happening. If you're feeling a certain way, don't bottle it up. Definitely let it out, whether it's talking to someone, writing it out, I don't know, just let it out, okay? Don't try and hold it in. Don't try to act tough. If you want to cry, go and cry. That's perfectly fine. I feel like a lot of the times people think crying is a weakness when really it's not. And you just have to really just sit and check in with yourself. Like, how are you doing mentally? Because like I said, oftentimes we get so busy in our days that, you know, we're not really seeing how we're feeling on the inside. And that's just super important, because that really is your foundation. Like, you could literally work, but end up burning yourself out, or just, you know, not listening to your body. And I feel like that's super important. Sit and embrace your feelings. Don't be scared. The strongest person will conquer their feelings. And I know a lot of us don't want to, but I promise you, once you let that out, you could let it go. Because once you know, decide to just push it off, push it away without actually dealing with it, that's gonna eat you up, and it's gonna get pretty toxic for you. So don't be scared to just really sit down with yourself. I highly recommend journaling, even meditating. You know, it's so important, guys. Your mental health is just so important, and I cannot stress that enough. Number 8, embrace uncertainty, enjoy the becoming. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. So definitely 2020, I mean, our whole life, nothing is certain, but there was a lot of feelings of uncertainty in 2020 about, you know, what's to happen, what's to come. But that can tend to be scary, which I understand, because, you know, you could be filled up with a lot of worries about, oh, this and that. But you kind of just have to shift your mindset and just know that everything is going to work out for you. Everything is going to be okay in the end. And if it's not okay in the end, then it's not the end. And yeah, there's just, you just kind of have to have that peace of mind of, you know, embracing what can happen and all the positive things that can arise. So yeah. Number 9, what is meant for you will always be for you. Don't stress, never chase, just attract. And I've come to the realization of how important that is recently. And, you know, just knowing that really gives me a peace of mind. And I feel like once you guys realize that on your own, you'll be so at peace. If you were talking to someone, or even just in that love aspect, I feel like you shouldn't have to force anything. You shouldn't feel like you have to chase something. And you know, I've come to the realization of, like, anything that I feel like is forced, or that I feel like I have to like fight for that person's attention or whatever the case may be, like it's probably not meant to be. And you know, even in the worrisome of if you think like, oh, what if that person, you know, goes and finds someone else? It wasn't meant to be, and you know, that's okay. You know, you have to just look at it like that aspect. And also, even when it comes to just like opportunities and jobs, or if you're applying to like a job and you know you're worried about what the result may be, and kind of just have to think that way, and just, you know, if it's meant to be, it will be. And you know, if not, there's something greater in store for you. And yeah, so I feel like once you guys see it like that, you will be so at peace. So definitely just focus on you and what you want to do, what you need to do, and everything will just fall into place as you just focus on you. So yeah. Number 10, be kind to yourself and to one another. We're all just as scared, and we're all just trying to figure it out. Like, you guys, I feel like definitely when all of the global events and even national events were happening in 2020, we definitely needed community support and to be kind to one another. Like, you truly never know what kind of day someone is having. If you just did something nice or gave someone that compliment or opened the door for that person, like you could have literally, or even just smiled at that person, you could have literally been the sunshine they were looking for when they were just walking with a pile of rain over their head. I don't know if that's like a good metaphor, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys get what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, you could literally just become that person's like sunshine for that day and just change that person's life. And I feel like, you know, life can be so hard, so just be kind to one another and be kind to yourself. Celebrate your small wins and your big wins. So don't go off comparing yourself to this person, to that person. You know, if you got out of bed this morning, that's an accomplishment. If you took a shower, that's an accomplishment. Like, stop trying to compare what everyone else on social media is doing or how they look. Be kind to yourself, okay? And I feel like it's so important to speak positive things to yourself, just as if you were talking to a friend. And it seems silly, but trust me, that was definitely something that helped with increasing like my self-love and self-confidence, and that really helped within the past year. And I noticed a difference when I did start speaking kindly to myself. So just be kind to yourself, be kind to one another. And yeah, I mean, we're all in this little game of life, and we're all just trying to figure it out. And anybody that says that they have it all figured out is a lie, because you never know what can happen in life, and we're just kind of just going with it, you know? Also, I know I did say 10, but I just want to share something with you guys real quick. Just a little story, but it did happen in 2020, and it also just kind of made me go into this like little realization of things. But back in 2019 in April, I was very, very sad, and I was in a very, very dark place mentally. And yeah, I was just really going through it, and I didn't really have the best, you know, mindset at the time. But fast forward into April 2020, I know this was a tough year for everyone, but I feel like there was so many positive, good things that came out of 2020 for me. And back in like 2020 of April is when I think That was when I first started talking to my agency, my modeling agency, and around the time that I was already considering signing with them. I signed in July, but at that time, I was talking to them in April, and it was so crazy for me to look back, and I was just like, wow, like, you know, life really does surprise you. And like I said in one of the other little lessons before, you know, if it's not the end, I mean, if it's not okay in the end, then it's not the end. So just keep moving forward, guys. Be strong. Be kind to yourself and to one another, like I said before, because you never really know what someone else is going through. And yeah, just, you know, continue to let life surprise you. Also, guys, keep in mind, every year is your year when you just have a positive mindset and outlook. I'm not saying neglect your feelings or emotions, but just try your best to look at things in a different perspective and to just see what you gained or what lesson was learned from, you know, a certain situation. You kind of just have to look at it like that. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Your support really means a lot to me. You guys have no idea. The fact that someone is taking time out of their day just to like hear me speak. I don't know, but I really, really do appreciate you guys. I have so much love for you guys, and yeah, I'll try and be more timely with my videos. Sorry that it's kind of late, I know, but I will try better. I will try to be more consistent this year. 2021, baby, let's go, okay? But thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, you know, that whole shebang, and I'll be back soon. Love you guys. Bye.